Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. A couple of weeks ago I was updating my website and I added a list of all the watercolors that I own, and with that I also put a heart next to all my favorite colors, and that sort of gave me an idea to experiment with them. These colors are mainly used in my colorful watercolor series, where afterwards I draw over it with black ink, but I've never intentionally focused on these colors. They were just the ones that I liked using the most. And this is the first time that I am deliberately keeping these colors in mind when I want to create something. So first off, I am making a mixing chart. I have never done a mixing chart in the past because there are so many options. You can mix a lot of one color with just a tiny bit of the other color and create an entire gradient that way, but I made it easier on myself and went half and half. So half of one color, half of the other. And since this is a square chart, you will actually have two areas of the same color that you've mixed. So to prevent that, I did one with very saturated colors, and then the other mixture would be diluted with a lot of water, so you would have more of a wash effect. So first off, I create a grid of 8 rows and 8 columns, and I, use tape to create a nice clean line. You don't necessarily have to do this, but I thought it looked prettier the last time I did a chart, so I ended up doing it again. It was quite tedious to cut the little strips, but it worked out in the end, and I'm very happy I took the extra step. So the first row is violet. I will show this in a slower speed so it's easier for you to follow what I am doing. I am creating a few drops of the violet color that will be mixed with the other colors. Then I am moving on to the second color and adding it straight to the grid. I was still figuring out on how I was gonna do this, so you can ignore this step just for now. I mixed the second color with the first one and add it to the correct row. For the column, I am using the diluted version of this color, so it will be much lighter. I am repeating the exact same step for the third color. I am adding in the pure color in the row and column where the three combine, and then afterwards I am mixing it with the first color, which is violet, adding it to the first row. Here I got confused and moved on to the fourth color and already placed that on my grid. I realized quickly that I had forgotten the diluted version of the third color, so I ended up finishing that one first. That is basically it. You just keep on repeating the exact same step with the different color combinations and diluting them with water to create a lighter version. This is also an amazing way to figure out what the colors that you have are capable of. If you only have 5 colors, then you can actually turn them into 25 colors. This could also come in handy if you have to put together a smaller palette with, for instance, only 3 colors if needed. I am really happy that I did this because I am probably going to be making my own custom palette with my favorite colors in them, and I was thinking of putting in black in there as well until I realized, thanks to this mixing chart, that there is actually a combination that comes really close to black, so I don't necessarily need to put that in there. That is it for this part of the tutorial. I will speed up the video for now, otherwise it's going to take way too long. And I will get back to you for the second part of this video, which will be a glazing chart. Since I had all my colors out anyway, I figured I would do a glazing chart as well. Glazing charts are more of my thing because you layer the colors instead of mixing them, and that is what I do a lot with watercolor. It is also a little easier to create and less time consuming. Basically, you put down a wash of the color in the columns and then you go over them with a wash of the color in the row. This will give you an idea of what the colors will look like if they end up on top of each other. I've already created a very detailed tutorial on this in another video, and I will link that one in the description. In that video, I think I also show you why glazing charts are useful and how you can use them. So go check that one out. Out of curiosity, I put my glazing charts and my mixing charts together after they were finished, and I don't really know if there is an actual difference. But with the glazing chart, it feels as if you can see that it is a glazing chart, like there are 2 layers, while with the mixing jar there is only one layer. And it's kind of like if you're looking through a colored window, it changes the colors of everything behind it instead of actually seeing it as a mixed color. So you still have that hint of the original color that is underneath that layer, while with a mixing chart you don't get that distinction. So it was quite interesting to see that. Everything of course depends on how you use watercolor and whether or not you use a glazing technique or a mixing technique. So for me, glazing is totally the way to go. And we are almost near the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.